All right, so for today's video, we're going to be talking about decision making and planning throughout the game. So in this game, I'm going to pause it here because this is important. We're on the map Murovanka. Someone's pinging the map. I'll stop there. We're on the map Muro, and so what I do every single time I get into a game is I look at the enemy team lineup, and if I'm in a heavy tank, generally I want to look at where my whole team is going to go and where I expect their whole team to go. So in this game, the reason I'm going to the 0 line as opposed to the typical heavy tank side, the 2 line, is because I see that they've got 2 bad shots, an M46, a Skoda, RU, a T49, and an AMX M449. And these are tanks that, as well as the tier 8 meds and 1 TD. These are all tanks I would expect to play on the 0 line because that's typically where lightly armored vehicles go. So what I'm doing is I'm bringing my E5 over to here. And that's why, this is why I say heavies are so good at winning games, is because all you have to do is drive to where the enemy's going to be and win that side. And heavies are always going to be amazing at winning the flank that they play. That's why I have 67% win rate in a lot of my heavies. 70 in my IS6, but that's cheating. So, what you can see me doing is I'm just driving here. I'm taking the safe route. You can see a lot of the tanks that I expected to be on this flank are going to be here, but at the end of the day, I'm not going to get anywhere near as much damage as I expected to get on this side, and this is sort of the whole point of this video. So we're just driving here. You can see immediately 1400 damage gets taken away from me because the Batshot gets the kill. We're going to sort of push up. We're looking for shots on the M46. Now this is something I want to talk about. Since I'm in a top tier heavy tank, and I guess this thing isn't working because it's a replay, I'm not too scared when I poke like this. I wouldn't do this in a medium tank, but given the situation, I can. What happens here is a Skoda hits me, and he's shooting me with heat. I remember this from the game, even though it doesn't mention it. So I know there's a Skoda sniping way back there. So I take the bit of a smarter route. I don't really want to get wrecked by a heat spamming Skoda. And I'm just going to continue to drive into them. I want to get shots off, and while this is happening, I'm going to be taking a look at my map. So you can see I'm looking around at my situation. I see that they're pushing the 1 line. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to drive up this side and replay glitches, man. It's probably because I forgot to turn the setting on. So here what's happening is I'm just pushing up. Now I know I can do this. I know there's a Skoda to my right, but really I don't care. And because I'm in a heavy tank, this is why heavy tanks are so good at winning. I can just drive up because I'm in a heavy. So that didn't make much sense, but just driving in like this is going to win you a ton of games. Here you can see I'm aiming for the AMX M449's lower plate. Again, I did expect to see him over here. I'm just using my armor because I can, and I should just get better at aiming for weak spots, I guess. We bounced the lower plate of a tier 8 heavy with this tier 10 gun, but whatever. We end up finishing him off, and at the end of the day, the settings reset, so I don't really want to have to go do all the settings, but by this point in time, I've only done 2,500 damage, and I know this because I played this game and I was thinking, fuck, 2,500 damage? I need to hit at least 3k. So what I'm doing here is, and this is the whole point of this replay, is I want to talk about planning, right? So in this case, I made a plan. I sort of expected a ton of tanks to be over on the 0 line, so I went there, and it didn't work out for me. Now, what a lot of people would do, given this timing in the battle, is they would just drive into their base and sit on cap. But if you look at the map, it makes no sense for me to do that whatsoever because their entire team, well, the majority of their HP is sitting on the 1, 2, and 3 line. And it's not like those guys are going to be low HP because we have nothing to shoot at them. So what I do, instead of pushing into their base like most people would do, is I'm looking to move towards the people who are, where I can get the most HP. I'm not worried about us losing right now because we're up 5 tanks. I'm just going for damage because I want to increase my, experience, my credits, and things like that. So what you can see me doing is I'm just driving, I'm taking shots while I'm on the move. I'm not in a huge rush because, what are they going to do, sit in the middle of an open field to cap out? It's not going to happen. So here, I'm just getting towards them, and at this point in time, maybe I have 3,000 damage, still nowhere near what I would expect from myself in a game like this. So I'm just driving towards the most HP possible. This is really important because you're going to notice, I'm just assuming my viewers are average players here, but look at all these people who still haven't moved to get the damage. This is amazing because these players, we're just going to assume they're average players, are not in a position to take away my damage, right? In a game that's competitive where you want to get as much damage as possible, you want to be the first to get there. So these guys here, they're going to have no shots on this full HP T-34. I think there's like a couple other full HP tanks. And this is all damage that I can get because I was aware and I was driving. And you can see, I mean, the T-10, the low, the T-34, even the medium tank aren't in positions to get as much damage as I am. So you can see I'm just driving into them because I want more, win 8 or whatever. And so this is... I know this type of video is going to piss some people off, but really I don't care. For those people who are looking to increase their damage to get into better clans or whatever, aggression does that. It also wins games. This is why I always feel like heavies are the best. It's because you can just be aggressive in them. And the only problem with them is they get clicked, and no one likes getting clicked. So here I do it again. Now at this point in time, you can see the E5 is shooting heat at my ass. It happened. Like, I don't care. I've got HP. I'm going to push into where I see is the easiest place for me to get HP. Now, I hadn't noticed that they don't have a bat shot spotted, but you're going to see I was looking to YOLO their bat shot. I'm not even going to stop for this RU here because, again, I want more damage. So I'm just going to auto-aim him and continue driving. There's no need for me to overcomplicate things. I'm just moving for damage. And this is what I want to teach because, again, look at how behind these guys are. It's not that I'm not trying to insult them or anything, but you can take advantage of this to get yourself more damage, more experience, shorten your grinds. If your teammates aren't paying attention to what's going on, and you are, you can see I can just push into these bat shots, and they're bat shots. They're not going to clip me out with their gun handling. I'm in an E5, so you can see I'm just going to sort of put shots into these guys, and no one's shooting at them, which is amazing. I can do this all day because no one's in a position to do it. I just rushed into them, and I'm getting more damage because of it. So, I mean, some people aren't really going to understand the point of this video. They're going to just see it as like whatever. But the whole reason, for the people who do want to get better stats and, increase their damage outputs and mark tanks and things like that, aggression does this. You need to pay attention. You need to look at the game sort of in a sense of, you need to manage your time. It's not like it wouldn't have made sense for me to go brawl that E5 for the HP he had when I had 2 bat shots. I mean, I thought it was just 1, but in reality, it doesn't make sense for me to go commit to a tank where I'm not going to do well, like really compared to where I can shoot at bat shots. So, I don't know. I hope the point of this video doesn't really get lost. It's just that I'm trying to say that if you give up, and if I had just driven up to cap, or if I'd gotten distracted by, some RHM who's going to sit on the red line and isn't going to impact the game, there's no way I would have gotten the results that I did in this game, and I'll go talk over them in a sec. But I'm going to continue talking about this in the map tactic and things like that. But I think this is really important because a lot of people forget that, it's hard to get damage when your team does well. And I was able to come through with it anyways in this game. So let's go take a look at the end plates so we can actually see how much damage was done. In this game, I ended up getting 6k damage, and I mean that's an incredible result in my opinion. For I remember just looking at my damage counter and seeing 2500 when I was coming off of the 0 line and thinking, what the hell, why is it so shitty? So I mean, we can go look at the strat sketch, but here you can see 6100 damage, 3 kills, not bad, and I don't really care about the credits that I made or whatever, but we can go on the strat sketch and talk about what happened, because there's a couple things that are actually really important. I have to title this. There we go. So the way this game played out is I went to the 0 line. Now I did this because I was in a heavy, and heavies want to be going to where they think the majority of the enemy team is going to go. I mean, typically, there's some maps that are the exception. Like, I would never take a heavy hill on Himmelsdorf because the hill is retarded. But on this map, I saw their lineup. I said, I'll probably have the most impact on the enemy team if I play the 0 line. And I did have an impact, but by no means was it satisfactory. We were winning hugely, and I mean, by the time I was like here, I had 2500 damage, and that's just shit. So what I did, instead of doing what most people did, I mean, you can see how the team responded. They saw an RHM at a Skoda, and I mean, those guys weren't doing anything. I just ignored them. You can do that when you're winning. Like, who cares about these 2 guys that are being useless? If you just want to get damage and XP and you want to increase the speed of your grinds, or hell, if you're trying to 3-mark tanks, it's really important to say, what is the best use of my time? Should I stop right here at this house and snipe an RHM who's, hiding like a pussy and he's been hiding all game? Or does it make more sense for me to drive to where they have multiple full HP heavies? And I mean, maybe I don't get as many shots on the camping RHMs, but maybe in the long run it'll give me more HP. So, I would suggest attacking the game sort of like I did. in the sense that if you go to a side and it's not working, don't give up. Understand that there's definitely the possibility for other options or opportunities for more damage. Obviously, in this game, bit of an exception, but if I hadn't been prepared for it, if I had just done, I mean, what the teammates did, or if I had driven to the cap or something, if I hadn't analyzed my map, there's no way in hell I would have gotten 6k damage, maybe 3k, maybe 3.5. So, yeah, take this as a lesson. I mean, you can just see what the teammates, I'm not trying to talk shit to them or anything, but the T10 who was sniping from here did 0 damage. I don't remember which other tanks here, but obviously from the performance of my vehicle, just the ability or the decision to push into these guys, no mechanical skill, I just drove into them, is what gave me the most damage. And that's, you know, the whole point of this video. So I hope this video is helpful. You'll definitely, I mean, I've never heard of a video like this on anyone else's channel, so this is the first time I've ever done something like this. And I've never seen anything like it, so it's very possible I didn't deliver this very well, but you know, I hope I did an okay job. So thanks for watching, guys, and that's pretty much it.